Hey, visionaries. All right. We are talking money, 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 money. Particularly in this video, I'm going to talk to you about loans. I see a lot of people, particularly entrepreneurs that I work with. I work with a lot of Black entrepreneurs that try to go after loans and are unable to get loans. A lot of that's systemic, okay? But some of that, right, not just for Black entrepreneurs, but for all entrepreneurs, we have to understand how banks think when they're reviewing the loan application so you can speak their language and have a better chance of getting that loan. Before we talk about better chances of getting the loan, though, let's make one thing clear. Business loans are not free money. And as much as you can, please try to avoid personally guaranteeing any loans that you get for your business. Many times entrepreneurs think, I get a loan for my business, I got it to my business. So if something goes wrong, okay, no harm, no foul. I just have to, business didn't work out. My personal finances will be okay. Not if you guys signed a personal guarantee line on that loan. This is a side note, but it's an important side note. Other thing to remember is a loan is not free money, okay? It's borrowed money, which means you have to pay it back, and you need to know the most important thing for you, and actually that brings me to my first point. The most important thing that the bank cares about is, can you make those monthly loan payments? So when you get a loan, no matter how much you're seeking, you need to be thinking in your mind, what is going to be the monthly payment? Can I make the monthly payment? You don't want to default on those loans. Again, it's not free money. It's just borrowed money. Don't be afraid of loans, though. Okay, there comes a time and a place for loans. If you are on that extreme kind of risk-averse side, it's like, I don't want to get a loan, and what if I can't pay it back? Well, here's the hack that I have used even for my own personal businesses. I tend not to get a loan unless I strategically see a pathway to revenue that's a direct connection to that loan. In other words, I'm not getting a loan to buy things in my business that don't have a straight path to revenue. I see a lot of entrepreneurs, I'm gonna get a loan, I'm gonna buy some vehicles for my business. You're not in a delivery business. You don't need vehicles for your business necessarily to capture revenue. It would be nice. Or I'm going to get a loan. I'm going to even getting a loan and paying for certain types of labor. If that labor is not directly connected to revenue for your business, that might not be the best way to fund. You might want to go through one of the other funding routes. Getting a loan for marketing. Sometimes you need to get a loan for marketing, but keep in mind, marketing is not a for sure thing. So if I spend 50 grand in marketing, it's really, especially if I'm just trying to figure this out in the beginning, like most entrepreneurs are, you might spend that 50 grand loan, not have the 50 grand in revenue or hopefully more to account for that. And now you got the debt of the 50 grand. So when you're getting a loan, the key thing is be smart about how am I going to leverage this money to make revenue to not only pay back the loan, but to make revenue. And if you don't see that clear pathway, it might not be the time for you to get a loan. When you're thinking about getting a loan from a bank, we want to lock in on what the bank is thinking about, right? So now I've decided I'm going to get a loan and I want to be successful in that application. I want to get this for sure. Well, number one, as I've already mentioned, the bank is thinking about, can you make your payments? So everything that they're vetting you on is, are we going to lose this money? Are you going to end up not making your monthly payments and we're going to be stuck with this debt that you can't pay off? Now, you may have some assets, but a lot of new business owners don't have a lot of assets. So that makes you quite a bit more risky than other more established businesses. So how do I demonstrate they're going to get their monthly loan payments? I'm going to pay this money back. Well, they want to see what your revenue is coming into your business. And they want to make sure that you have enough revenue coming in your business to cover all your current business expenses. That includes labor, payroll, and you have money left over after that to cover the monthly payment for the loan. And you have money in reserve, hopefully, of some sort to be able to cover any hiccups that come up. Because that's usually the one way people default on their loans. Something unexpected happens, so now they can't make that loan payment. So the first payment to get missed is a loan payment. So they're trying to figure out, can you make that loan payment? So everything you talk to them about needs to be about showing them, hey, I got enough revenue coming in, and we're going to leverage this loan to bring in revenue to the point that we'll be able to make these payments. If you don't have any revenue and you're trying to go after a bank loan, you're in a really tough spot. I would consider not going after a bank loan. I would consider grants, or I would consider investors, because if you have no revenue, you're just starting out, most banks won't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Because again, if they're interested, and I'm gonna keep saying it over again, can you make those payments? And you should be interested in that as well. The last thing I'll mention about bank loans is understanding that you don't always have to go to a bank to get a loan. There are nonprofit organizations that will give you things called microloans. I used to serve on a lot of those committees where we review the business plans of companies, and we would give them microloans. So maybe there were $20,000, $50,000 loans, not $1 million loans that you might get from a bank, not even a couple $100,000 loans that you might get from a bank. That's why they call them micro. It might be $5,000 or $10,000. But the requirements for those loans are less. In other words, they assume more risk. Usually it's, again, coming from a charitable organization, which means that maybe you don't have the best revenue, but they're going to take a gamble on you because they're interested in doing greater good in the community. So if you're in a position where you're like, my revenue's not the best, or I don't have any collateral to put down, or I don't even want to put collateral down, then go for a microloan. They usually don't require collateral. There's a lot of them that don't require collateral, and you have a much better chance of getting those microloans. Some of them are even slated for individuals that may have terrible business credit or even terrible personal credit, and they know that's a barrier for that individual, and you can actually apply to a microloan that is specifically targeted to you, okay? They realize that bad credit is not always a sign of bad money management. So if you can't get a bank loan, please look at microloans. And actually, I would look at microloans before I even look at bank loans. There's gonna be some really great money out there. Some of those microloans are even what we call forgivable. Look for forgivable loans. That means you take it out as a loan, but every year you keep making those payments, or every year you work it off, so to say, you get a trigger point, they just forgive all the debt, right? Or they say, hey, 3 years in, it's all forgiven. So it's another way to do a grant, but it's through a loan mechanism. All right, visionaries, I hope that I've taught you something about loans as an opportunity to raise money for your business. Please stay tuned. If you're working on a loan application, you can reach out to us at www.visionarium.com, and we will help you strategize how to get that funding and even figure out if that's the right funding source for you. As always, stay vision rich, and, think about the rich part of it too. Talk to you.